I'm so excited to introduce to you something that I've been wearing and loving for some time now, and I think you will too. For me, when I braid or teach or go throughout my day, style and comfort are a tie for my number one priority. And that's why I love Clove shoes. I mean, you can't spell clove without love. That's CLOVE. And they started making sneakers for the healthcare workers like nurses who need good support for long shifts on their feet. Same as in beauty and with creators, right? You're on your feet on the go all the time. And that's what these shoes are for. They're also waterproof and they wipe clean, so there's no worries about spills or stains from any products you use. And on top of that, they're super cute. And there's so many colors for you to choose from, so it'll go with any look you have. I'd love for you to try a pair, so I've got an offer code for you. Visit goclove.com/Karen and use code CLOVEKAREN, that's Clove, then my name, KARYNE, for 20% off your first pair. You might start collecting them like I do. That's Clove Karen for 20% off your first shoe order at goclove.com/Karen. Welcome to the Art of Braids. I am your host, 𝐃𝐮𝐳𝐚𝐧𝐭, and today's topic is a good one. It's about braids, balance, and becoming. And it's a conversation that we'll be having with our amazing guest for today, Melissa Duzon, aka Melissa Soraya. Thank you so much, Melissa, for taking the time out to have a conversation with us about this topic. Can you use this time to just introduce yourself, your background, and what led you to your entire journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey girl, hey, thank you for having me here. Man, I wear a lot of titles. I'm a dancer, I'm an actress, I'm a social media content creator, which pretty much started like 4 years ago, centering mostly around hair. I went natural in 2018, and originally when I started my natural hair journey, I really wasn't thinking about social media in terms of like, let me document this. It was more so for myself, like, let me post this picture and then see my results from like this month to this month. And then I started getting traction on the internet and I started having girls relating to me. I also had shared that I suffer from alopecia. So I was getting hit up by brands, Nutrafol, Nioxin, to promote some of their products. And then I was like, okay, this could possibly become something. And then once I started like being natural for like a year, 2 years, I actually really started to enjoy documenting and making it more of a creative thing as opposed to just posting it, for myself.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, yeah, like dealing with alopecia with curls, like that can be tough. The only pro is that if you have curls, you can kind of like fluff it up and hide some of those
Yeah.
areas. But mentally, it does take a toll where you're just kind of like, what am I doing to maybe agitate this, or what can I do to lessen what's happening or even like reverse it? I know there's certain alopecias that you can kind of like, reverse, but then there's some you just have to live with. And with that, which one is that in your case?
So for me, I don't have the extreme part of it. For me, it comes and goes. They do say that stress plays a factor, but I mean, like, life is stressful within itself. Like, it's very hard to just be like, I'm never stressed. I don't think necessarily for me it's stress. To be honest, I don't really know what sparks it. Like, there's times where I'll do something and I'm like, okay, I knew better than to do that. Like, I love braids. I love it. They're beautiful. But for me, when I get braids, it'll pull out, especially like for me, the most sensitive parts of where I deal with thinning is at the top of my head, like the crown.
Mm.
And so I can get braids and it won't rip my edges out. It won't, take my hair out anywhere else. But the crown of my head, yeah, for sure. And so for me, I just have to always wear my hair natural. Like I barely even straighten it. And when I do, there are ways you can straighten your hair because I also don't want to sound like when if you're a natural girl and you're dealing with like certain health issues that you always have to keep your hair curly. Um, but I'm very mindful. Like I know like I won't always put my hair in a ponytail because that's tension on the scalp. But it could be very stressful because there's months where I'm like my hair's thriving. I feel like, oh my God, it's growing, it's thick. And then there's times where I'm like, what did I do? I'm doing everything right. I'm eating right, I'm drinking water. I actually take hair pills and but it's just the nature of the game. And I've learned by now kind of how to deal with it. And like you said, it's curly hair, so you could just fluff it up as opposed to not having natural hair, maybe having straight hair, and it's a little bit harder to hide.
Wow, thank you. And I'm glad that it wasn't like it's not the severe
Yeah,
thing and it's kind of like comes and goes because it's like, okay, we're good, we're good. And it's like, oh, what's
right,
happening? So
right.
with that being said, I wanted to go into the questions at hand for our listeners to kind of like get a little deep dive of your perspective and expertise. So our first question, as a dancer, artist, and creative, how do movement and rhythm show up in your style or care for your hair, um, for yourself as well as others?
So for me, when I'm dancing, I prefer to dance with my hair out. I love like how it looks, like whether you're performing on camera, I love the way I look. I can only speak for myself when my hair is like in its wildest form. So like if you're familiar with natural hair, you know that like day one hair, day two hair, it's a little bit more flat. But as you go through the days, your hair gets bigger and bigger and expands. The hair follicles expand. And I love that look. Like I love frizz, I love big hair. And so when I'm dancing, I prefer my hair to be out. I feel like I move better. I feel like it gives me this level of confidence. And I think that's the beauty too about natural hair is that when you come to love your hair and become comfortable with your hair, it shows up in other aspects of your life. Like you can just literally walk out the house, and even if your outfit is not like 100% you're satisfied with it, if your hair is on point, then that's the only thing that matters. Because there's times I'll take a dance class and like I'll do like a style of heels, and that's very sexy, sensual. And I'm overthinking, like, what should I wear to heels class? And there's times I'm like, I don't really care for my outfit, but my hair is big. So I know when I do that whoop around, I know it's gonna look fire. So for me, it just gives me like an extra level of confidence.
I love that. And yes, it is. It's like the bigger the better. And it's like your hair is a part of the fashion, right? Like it's
That's
like, I'm like, oh, who did your hair? Like the people don't even care about anything else you're wearing.
right.
Because it's in you. It's just kind of like when you look good, you feel good, you just show up differently. So
Absolutely.
I definitely understand that. And you've been rocking your natural curls for some years, right?
Mhm.
What has your curly journey taught you about patience, pride, and self-expression?
Ooh, patience. I don't think that ever goes away. You need to always have patience because, like I said, like it's an ongoing journey. So you'll have like a 3 month period where it's great. You're loving it. Like for me, I love the way my hair thrives in the summertime. The humidity, it makes my hair really, really pretty. But then in the wintertime, your hair is dry, it's brittle, because the air's cold. And so I kind of have to be a little bit more creative. Maybe not put my hair all the way up, but maybe do some styles where I'll twist it on the side and kind of give it, a little bit of oomph as opposed to in the summertime. I mostly just like leave it like this, or maybe I'll flip it to the side because the humidity just makes my hair really nice. So you always have to have patience, always with your hair. Even if you don't have like alopecia like I do, I hear girls saying all the time, like, today's just a horrible hair day. Like, I don't know what I did because it'll be like I wash my hair and I don't even try. Like, I just do a wash and go. I put a little bit of product and I go, and my hair comes out beautiful. When I know I have somewhere to be, I'll like put that little extra detail in. I'll finger curl every strand. And then I'm like, what went wrong? Like, what did I do? So you definitely have to have patience. In terms of self-expression, I think that goes hand in hand with what I was saying about confidence. For me, like, I hate to say that my hair defines me because it doesn't, but it definitely helps with your confidence because Like I'm not really like the short hair girl. I have cut my hair short before, but for me, like I feel like this is my signature look. I love my hair this length. I love when it's growing and it's healthy. So I don't want to say it defines me, but it's who I am. I feel like when people describe me, they're like, "Oh, Melissa, the girl with the curly hair," right? Like I feel like that's who I am. And then grace, you gotta give yourself grace. Like you do it with anything else in life. You just always have to tell yourself, like, okay, again, like, yes, your hair doesn't define you. So even if it's a bad month, that's okay because your hair's gonna bounce back and
Exactly.
then it's gonna be better than it was before. So that all ties in, giving yourself grace and just having patience with your hair.
Right. I mean, dealing with curls, you have to have patience, even like just wash day, right? Like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take some time. It's gonna be a whole day type of thing, making sure that you are conditioning and leaving this like sitting for
The whole thing. And God forbid you're a mother. God forbid you're a parent because you are planning your wash days around your child because it's a process. It's a full-on process. And then like you're planning your wash days around like if you have something to do over the weekend, I'm literally doing the math like, okay, if I wash my hair on Tuesday, I know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is gonna be Friday might be, but Saturday is gonna be the day. So it's like it's crazy. And like I feel like people who aren't natural, they don't get that. They don't get that
no,
at
especially if they're
all.
not doing it themselves, right? Because some of them
Right.
go to the salon and something, and it's like, okay. And it's what gets you is like those last minute, someone will send you a message like, hey, can we hang out or can we meet up? And you're
Girl, like now you know.
like, I have a standing appointment with myself. Like it's one of those things where you push it back and then now it's been like 2, 3 months since you last washed your hair. And so those are some real situations. But
Yeah.
patience, yes, is you definitely need that in life in general. And also self-expression. You're like, okay, this is my signature, this is my look. Me, I change up my hair all the time. I have a thing where like people be like, oh my God, I'd be like, see, no stalkers.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my
I love
God.
that though.
Yeah,
I love that.
okay, so let's go into the third question, which is we're gonna bring that to motherhood, right? How has motherhood shifted or deepened your relationship with beauty, identity, or how you pass on your rituals to the next generation?
So, ooh, the last two I believe were huge ones for me, identity. So growing up, I struggled with my natural hair. I'm grateful my mother really wasn't the mom that was straightening my hair a lot. She really helped me to appreciate my natural hair. Because when kids take pictures, like picture day, and you do like my mom used to do my hair really pretty, but it was natural. My mom is also very good with doing hair. So whereas I'm not like she could braid, she could do cute twist. I'm not really like the best when it comes to that. So I appreciated how like looking back at pictures now that I'm an adult, like how pretty my hair was before, the alopecia. My hair was long and it was thick, and I hated it because I would go to school and that's not really what you saw. If girls had curly hair, it was like looser curls. I had tighter curls, and I struggled with that for a while. And then when I got into middle school, ooh, it became worse because I'm mixed and I would get told like your hair's not really like your Spanish, but at the same time, it's not really like because I'm African American, I'm Caucasian, and I'm Spanish. So I would really get told like it's not really like a Spanish girl, but it's not really like a black girl, but it's not really, and I'm like, I don't know how my hair is supposed to really be. And then we didn't have hair salons for our kind of hair. Now I actually go to a curl studio, and it's like the best thing that has ever happened to me. That's really kind of what helped me go natural is like once I found them, I never turned back. But yeah, growing up, we didn't have that. My mom, that was who my hairstylist was. And you as a kid, you're like, oh, my mom's just telling me my hair is pretty because she's my mom. That's what she's supposed to do. It really wasn't until I got older that I really, really like I can't even imagine being anything else but natural. But in terms of identity, like I feel like natural hair really just and I say this in the most humbling way, it makes me feel so beautiful. Like it truly, truly does. Like even the times when I straighten my hair, I am over it by like day two. I'm like, it's boring, it's flat. I'm ready to just like wash my hair. And then with motherhood, so my son has curly hair. He's
Oh,
2. He has curly hair and he's in a modeling agency and we get compliments about his hair all the time. They're like, this is the money shot right here. Like we love his hair. And so he actually lets me he sits down, he lets me do his hair. I'll brush it through with the conditioner. It'll help take out the knots. So for me, just like even watching him, because he loves his hair too, like he'll touch it and I'll tell him like, nice, this is nice. Like I feel like it's really important to start that now because I don't know. I know things are a lot different than they were back then in terms of like schools being more diverse, but like I need to let him know that now so that before he starts school, he's not thinking that he's different. Well, he is different, yes, but I don't need him feeling insecure about his hair. So me as a mother watching my child also with curly hair, it's like it's such a like an outer body experience because I'm like, man, like now I'm doing his hair. His hair's curly. You know, curly hair is not the easiest to deal with, but you get the job done. Um, so for me, I just feel like motherhood just also upped that confidence level for me as well in just so many different ways.
yeah, no, I love that. And I love that your mom was really good and gentle with you. And obviously, I'm pretty sure you're gentle with your son for him to be like, yep, I can sit here and I can get my hair done. Because I know like it takes a lot of work, and with the curls, they can tangle a lot, with just kind of like coming together. And I guess curls also very expensive. Like natural hair.
Product products are crazy.
Yes, especially if you need so much, because curls need hydration. So it's like you can't just be skimpy on the amount you use. Like they be like, yeah, just a little goes a long way. Now we're real girls.
No, there's no such thing as like a dime size amount. So the thing is with shampoo, yes, because it lathers up. With conditioner, you have to put a lot. And a lot of times I run out of conditioner. Most of the times I run out of conditioner faster than I do shampoo. And I'm like, you just have to replenish and replenish and replenish. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Okay, so this is not on the questions I sent you, but you have a son and you of course have curls and dance and things like that. You said that you like your hair free. How do you said your mom is more of the braider. Like, how do y'all deal with like adding braids? And if you do go to a type of braid, which style is your go-to?
So I got braids done in 2022 and I did the jumbo knotless braids. So I have maybe 10 to 12 in my hair. When I took it out, my hair honestly didn't really fall out that much. I mean, your hair sheds in general.
Right.
That's a given. And I kept them in for 2 weeks. And it shed. It wasn't anything crazy. Most recently, I did the boho knotless braids, I believe they're called, and it was a lot. Like it wasn't heavy though. That's the thing. My husband and I were going on vacation, and I just didn't want to deal with my hair, so I was like, I'm gonna braid up my hair, and I did like the boho with the curls in between, and but it was a lot, layers and layers. Like it took like 7 hours to do.
Mhm.
And she did an amazing job. Amazing. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't hurting my scalp at all. I was able to like flip it to one side, flip it to the other side. I left it in for a little less than 2 weeks. No, actually, I left it in for 2 weeks. I left it in probably like maybe 2 days, like 16 days.
Okay.
And when I took my hair out, there was a lot of hair missing, especially in the part that I mentioned, like the crown of my head. But again, she was amazing. She did an amazing job. It's just that's my hair. Like my hair is very soft too. So I had a lot of breakage and I was like, okay. But thankfully it happens at the beginning of the year. So I had time to like kind of get my hair back before the summer got here. But then that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start taking hair pills and I just have to be a little bit more mindful. My parents live in Florida. So when I come to visit my mom, she'll do like two French braids, which is totally fine. And it gives me a break because I'm like, they're cute. I'll do two French braids. And then when I take them out, I'll have like that wavy kind of style. But when I'm on my own, I may do like a little twist or something like that, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So that's the only downside is that sometimes I feel like I don't get a break because for the most part I'm wearing my hair like this. And if I do, I'll do like a half up, half down. But I'm not doing anything too crazy in terms of braiding.
Mm, got you. Thank you for that. Because I was like, wait, so I know because I'm like braids is something for like a lot of curls, right? Like it's like, oh, I just need to put this away. So I know this will it kind of struggles with you saying that you're gonna lose your crown area, and that is like tough. Especially I feel
Yeah.
like when people use certain products too, like the alcohol-based gel or anything like that when they're braiding. Like I'm like that and curls should not even mix when it comes to
Right.
braid, especially. Were you gonna say anything to add to
No, I was
that?
gonna say, yeah, the gel, yeah, you have to be careful. So I actually stumbled upon this brand and I've been using it ever since. They're called Pros and they customize products for you. They're a little pricey, but it's worth it because you take a quiz and depending on how you answer the questions, that's how they formulate the products for you. So in the quiz, I had mentioned like I suffer from thinning and all the things, and like the ingredients will tell you exactly what it's for. So like it'll be like jasmine rice extract. It helps to bond the hair follicles. Yucca extract. It helps to, with moisture, hydration. Like, so I'm just, as I get older too, I'm very mindful because with getting older too, your hair's gonna change in general. So I'm like, let me try to like do my best keeping, my alopecia at bay so that I'm not like entering my 40s and my hair's thinner than it ever has been, because I just turned 34. I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm more than halfway at that midway mark. I'm like, I need my hair healthy.
You're like, look, don't have me messing up out here. Like, stay with me. Um,
Right.
I get so our last question for this educational portion is if you can create a visual piece that blends dance, curls, and crown care, what would that performance or project look like?
Ooh, so as I mentioned, I'm an actress as well. I love poetry. And I would love to create a piece where poetry is involved and lots of movement, a modern lyrical-ish style of dance, which is a style of dance that actually I started. That's how I got introduced to dance. Like hip hop and all of that fun stuff came later, but I used to do a lot of modern and I don't do that style as much, contemporary, they call it. Um, and I would love to put a piece together, even if I'm not actually dancing it, because I also choreograph. I would love to put a piece together with poetry and contemporary and just let the two worlds collide. I think that would look beautiful. And the poetry piece doesn't necessarily even have to do with hair, just something that makes someone feel something.
I see.
And that person I feel that I envision would have to look like me, like a representation of what I represent, which is hair and, dance or
I love that. Like, 'cause I don't think we have that so much, especially in beauty or anything like that. We don't have like where it's like this deep rooted connection of artistry, taking people
hmm
on the path of like the journey of hair, like hair,
Yeah,
or just self
yeah.
expression.
Yeah, it's hard, especially like in the industry, it's hard to find and see that. I feel like a lot of the times people take the easy way route and I don't want to say look like everyone else, but I know for me, I'm trying to think, like Yara from Blackish. So like a lot, like when I look at her, like I identify with her a lot because I'm like, even if our hair textures are different or whatever, I just look at her and I'm like, when I look at her, I'm like, she's being true to herself. It just reads that way. Like when I look at someone, I'm like, I can tell they're being their most authentic self. And for me, I'm like, I don't want to look like anyone else at all.
Yeah, I mean, and no one should. I feel like people do say like that, and then all of a sudden you see everybody is like, well, the trends and stuff like that, and now they all look like that. In beauty industry, everybody has like the same hairstyle, like within like the, I guess the summertime or something like that. It's like, oh my God, when they had the braided baldy, like everybody had the braided baldy. It becomes like, and it's like everybody wants to look different, but it's like you end up looking the same.
Girl,
And
if I could tell you how many times, like, and I'm so happy that I've come such a long way because if I'm being totally transparent, I'm so happy like that I am not famous and rich because what I when I was younger, I wanted a nose job. I hated my nose.
it's
I
so
felt like my cheek, but
um,
that's why I hate it is because people used to be like, now I don't care, it doesn't bother me, but because people used to be like, it's so cute. And when you're like 21, 22, you're not trying to hear that. So I hated that. And then like my cheekbones are so high. So I'm like, they're high, then my nose is puffy, and then I have a gap. And I'm like, I would see it as negative things. And it's crazy because when I was heavily acting, that was always like the first things that I would be told. Like you're very unique. You have a different look. And then they would say like your nose, like, and I would be like, but what is it about my nose? And it helped as well too, because I'm like, you know what? If they're saying that, then on camera, someone else will see me and resonate with me. So like, why am I changing? And then also too, once you start changing those things about yourself, there's no turning back.
right.
It's not like a hair.
Right. You're like, okay, I'll cut it off, it'll grow back. But like once you mess with your face, it's like someone different. And you're just like,
Yeah.
what? Like, no, no, no. But I get it. And I think it is when you're like with identity, right? Like you're moving into like, how do I like, own my identity in some kind of way? Because when we're struggling growing up, we do kind of wrestle with like, I don't like this because I don't like the thing. Like when you said that, my lips. Like everybody used to be like, oh, your lips. And I used to just be walking around like, because it brought so
Mm.
much attention. And it would be from like men, girls, older ladies, like, and I'm like this is weird. Like, and it's like, why are you trying to have a conversation with somebody that's where they're looking? And it's like, hey, I'm a person. So I get that with you, but I'm like, now I'm like, oh, cool. Like that's one of my best assets or something like that. But
Because
before,
now everyone wants their lips done. So you already have it naturally. You have beautiful full lips. So yeah, I get it.
so I can relate to you on that. It was like, oh, yeah. So now that we have established that, so if we become famous now, we're gonna leave that alone.
Yes.
We'll just take
Yes.
trips and all of the extra stuff, but that we're going and so I'm gonna go into, and I also wanted to touch base on I didn't let it slip. I know you spoke about being in school with your curls and you had individuals saying you don't belong, you kind of like where's your curls fit? And I'm sorry that happened to you. And I feel like people do attack what's right about you. So that way you kind of like think it's wrong almost because it's envy or anything like that. They haven't seen it. So it's like
Mhm.
attack the unknown. But I'm like, your hair was all thick and curly and like long and they, yeah. So I just wanted to just acknowledge that like kids they can be so mean.
No, I appreciate that. But so the thing is like, so I was never like flat out bullied in that way. So I'll give you an example. So for instance, let's say it was picture day and my mom did this like really cute fancy bun where she used to like curl my hair and then like put these back then she used to call it the Selena bun. You ever seen the Selena movie when she has like that big bun? It's like a scene that she has it and it's like not easy to do, but it was easy for my mom to do. She would pin curl my hair and put the pins in. And then after picture day, you kind of have a headache. You're walking around with those pins in your hair. And like the teachers will be like, well, why don't you just take it out? And it's like, my hair doesn't work that way. Like it has product in it. So if I just brush it out, it's gonna be poofy. So it wasn't like they were like, oh, your hair is messed up. It was more so like ignorance, like, well, just brush it out. Like, what's the big deal? Or going to a pool. And at the time, my hair was curly, but it wasn't like trained like the way it is now. So getting in the pool and your hair's just kind of like puffy after it dries from being in the chlorine. And then your friends kind of like not understanding when you're young, 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 like that kind of thing. And just realizing to yourself like, okay, I don't have hair like everybody else, but not at that age, not knowing or understanding why or that it's even okay. Now it's like whatever.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm glad, I'm pretty sure they know now. Um,
Right.
so now
Right.
going into some quick questions of like this is our fun portion of the interview is what is something people are surprised to learn about you?
Hmm. Um, I I'm shy. And sometimes I can have social anxiety. And I'm working on that. I have a friend, she's so good with that. When we go to like, well, we haven't in a while, but like we'll go to like these networking events and she'll be like, introduce yourself, or she'll do it for me. She'll be like, this is my friend Melissa. She's a dancer. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, no, you have to do that because I've been to events by myself where I would step to people that I didn't know and kind of get like the cold shoulder. So, and it's still probably gonna happen, but I have to like be okay with that within myself. Like even if I get the cold shoulder by someone who may not want to talk, just move on to the next person. So sometimes I have to like pep talk myself, like especially if I'm going somewhere by myself, like it's okay, put yourself out there. The right person will, receive it.
Amen. Yes, like I feel like networking sometimes can be like very triggering. And it's like you almost feel like you have to put on. And it's like I'm selling myself, so I get it. And then some people just be like, they be turned off because they also probably are dealing with their own situation. Like they're like, oh God, people are gonna ask me for certain things. So,
Right.
but I get it. Like, continue to be yourself, but I'm pretty sure like with thank you for joining our podcast. But like things like this will get you to where you need to be. But I can see the whole shyness. Like, and when you say it's, oh, I'm shy, and people be like, what? It's like, yes, you can be shy and still outgoing.
Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so now what is a book that you're currently reading and would you recommend it?
So if I'm being honest, I'm not a reader. I'm really not. I love to study. People that I look up to. So especially in the dance world, there's so many choreographers that I love to look at their work. Like I love to, and just to see the growth. And that's helpful for me too, because I'll study someone's work and I'll be like, wow, they came from this to that. And I love to do that. Not necessarily taking their style, but it's very important to have people that you look up to so you can kind of like, so you can learn from them. And so for me, I'll do a lot of that, even with acting as well. Like I got introduced to acting through theater and I love theater. So like I love to even like read old scripts and just from like how I started to how I would do that scene now. That's like my form of therapy and reading. Because I'm not a big reader. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a very, very big observer. Like I love to study. Like it's funny, like I'll watch a documentary with someone or like my husband and I'll know like who the choreographer was for that tour, that movie that like I'm more of like I know the behind the scenes because I've been studying it. That's the type of person that I am.
I get it, especially when it's your industry. So you kind of like look into the things that kind of like resonate with you. So
Hmm.
I don't know, going forward, it might be you producing
I would love that.
something. So it's like knowing the ins and outs of what it looks like behind the camera,
Hmm.
on the camera makes sense. So I get
Hmm.
it. I get it. And then last but not least, how can people support and find you?
Ooh, support. Very hard, right? And I'm sure you can understand that aspect of it. It's very hard. So when I came into creating, I used to like a little, be offended a little. Like, I feel like I'm not getting the support that I need. I feel like this. I think the biggest way to have people support you is you yourself being consistent and people following that journey. I feel like if you are coming across like you believe yourself and you believe your dreams, then it's going to come across to other people that way. And so for me, consistency is key. Like I mentioned, I've been creating for quite some times, and there's times I feel stagnant. And especially the day and age that we live in now, I feel like people think that social media is success. And to some degree, it could, it could be, right? Because the more followers you have, the more traction you get, the more recognition you get. But I always say I want to build something powerful that's has to do with the internet, but is also off the internet. That way, in case social media stopped today,
Right.
would I still be able to have a successful business outside of this social media bubble that we live in? And so for me, I want to build an empire of that. And I'm totally okay with like I love dance and I dance, but I'm totally okay with being the person behind the scenes. And that's really what I'm aiming towards building is an empire in that way. So for me, I'm like just continue following my journey. Even if support for me looks like you following my journey, to be honest. Like I'm not the girl that's like you have to repost my stuff, you have to, even if you can't make it out to something, that would be great, of course. But stick with me on this journey because I got a vision and it's going somewhere. And then of course, yes, people can follow me on social media. Because like I said, I'm not against social media. Like it has helped so many people and it is a stepping stool for a lot of people. So Instagram, on as underscore Melissa Sarai. That's my Instagram and that's my TikTok. And I'll post a lot of things that I do on there. If I'm having an event, that's where I'll post it. I throw sip and dance classes in New York City. So I'll promote it through there. And yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Melissa. And to everybody, please support Melissa by following her journey, like she said. And one way you can do that is following her on Instagram. And I will include that in the show notes. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And Melissa, thank you so much for joining.
No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.